Steelers are now working on their second hand for rings. They're going to go for their 6th Super Bowl title. And, Mike, they got there because of a great defense and just a nasty game against the Ravens.
It really was a brutal, vicious, physical game. And I do think the fact that the Ravens had to play an extra round of the playoffs and were a little beat up physically, I think might have been a factor. But another factor is the Ravens are just a bad offensive team. I mean, let's be honest about it.
Yeah.
They're the 25th ranked offense in the NFL during the season, and that's really what they were. They just weren't good enough offensively. It's remarkable that they got as far as they did. People are so focused on this defense and ground game thing that people can't see reality here. I think they're missing reality. I think we all missed reality a little bit with the Arizona Cardinals, and I think we missed reality about the offense of the Ravens too. Joe Flacco, people are in love with Joe Flacco, but they were grading him on a curve. He's excellent for a rookie quarterback. We get to the semifinals of the whole deal, you know, you're not really a rookie anymore, and he really has a long way to go before he's a championship caliber quarterback.
Well, I think overall, people bring up the fact the Ravens went 18 straight weeks without a break. I mean, it was the first team in NFL history
That's
to
amazing.
go that long.
That really is amazing. It's amazing that they got as far as they did.
Yeah.
That. Yeah.
And I don't know, the game was close enough there, close to the end, where I don't know if it was the tired factor or the extra round of the playoffs. You had a young quarterback out there, and quite frankly, the Ravens were still in this game until he throws those INTs.
Yeah.
And I think a great safety, one of the phenomenal players in the NFL right now overall, with a marquee name is Troy Polamalu, was a difference maker. He
really was.
Maybe even suckered him into a couple throws where Flacco maybe thought a guy was open and he wasn't.
You could really see Polamalu reading his eyes and
exactly.
making plays on that. I mean, I'll give Polamalu as much credit for that as positive as I give Flacco negative, because he really is great at that, at finding the football.
Well, and you talk about difference makers in the NFL. You mentioned it last week how, the top guys in the sport right now, Larry Fitzgerald of the Cardinals. You probably would put Harrison of the Steelers up there.
Yeah.
But you've got Polamalu and maybe Ed Reed that are those kind of guys that just stand above everybody else right now. Peyton Manning is in that group, but Polamalu is phenomenal. I think it goes back to the defensive coordinator. One of the keys, I think, why the Steelers have had success this year, but for so many years, is Dick LeVeaux.
Yeah.
Phenomenal defensive coordinator, just a great guy.
And he's the
71 years
oldest.
old.
He's the oldest coach in the NFL. He's 70-some years old.
71.
And maybe I'm reading too much into this, but he's an old school guy who maybe insists on the wrap up and put the guy away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing that's interesting is we did a segment about the Eagles. And we talked about the frustration why they can't get over the hump. They have had a lot of draft picks that haven't made it. The Steelers will lose guys to free agency and yet seem to always replenish it through the draft. And they don't have the volume of mistakes in the draft that other teams in the NFL seem to have.
Well, maybe if we were following the Steelers as closely as we follow these, maybe we'd see some. But you're right, and this goes back to Chuck Noll. This goes back to the 70s. The Steelers have been a consistently, there haven't been many real down periods for the Steelers in going on 40 years now. And part of that is the incredible job that they continue to do of replenishing through the draft. It's not a free agency thing. It's not a quick fix thing. It's year after year after year of just feeding the beast. And they're as good as anybody at that.
That's why they're going to fill this hand now.